I want to be the best that I can be, but I'm also not afraid of being very uncomfortable in order to achieve what I want to achieve. Entering Tahoe 200, I wanted to get on that podium, and I was prepared to do whatever it would take to accomplish that. Many times we don't know what we're capable of because we're so afraid of the discomfort, of the pain, of failing. Waking up race morning, I noticed my body was a little off, which isn't abnormal because sometimes when it comes to race week, I'm a ball of nerves and I'm excited, and I had a little cough, but I didn't really think much of it. I really just pushed those feelings aside and felt like, all right, I can still push through and I can run hard. And so that's how I began the race. I don't stand on a start line and think, oh, I hope things go well. I hope I get to the finish line. I just want to have fun out there. No, like, now is the race. Now is the test. All that training, all that dedication, is it going to pay off? From the start, I charged to the front of the pack, and right away there was a woman that jumped in front of me, so then I jumped in front of her and we kind of went back and forth for a little bit. I love that. I love that, like, right from the get-go it was, it was a solid pace. And so running into the first aid station, my spirits were really high. I had really good energy. I do have a drop bag. I'm 116. We were up pretty high as far as the altitude goes at that point at the first aid station. And also the heat was really starting to make an appearance. It was about a couple miles before the 50K mark that I just felt fried. This wasn't race nerves. I couldn't ignore this anymore. It made me labor in my breathing, and it just felt like it was really sucking the energy from me. Oh. Okay.
You need honey, Mo? No bueno.
Sitting here isn't going to make me feel better, so I'm going to just walk. Unless I can get some ground. After I made it to the turnaround point, I started having problems with just eating. Slowly, as I started to make my way back to the 100K mark, I wasn't able to process food anymore. So I started vomiting, was getting pretty dizzy. And then at one point I was just vomiting anything that came in my body, including water. I need to figure this out though. I mean, it's still early in the race. My overall pacing time is actually still sub 65, I think, or even sub 60, so sub 60 hours. And I don't want to lose that. So I just need to rally and then get better for tomorrow.
She's still gonna be doing it, I believe it. You think so? Yep.
All right.
All right, Sal and Craig.
Time to rally.
Go get it.
You guys, thank you so much.
Don't trip on that blanket or your poles. Your poles, I tripped on them.
Okay, I appreciate
I've
you.
tripped on, I think, 14.
Thank you.
Yes.
We got you, girl.
You're amazing.
Go
You
get
can do it. Yay. You're awesome.
You're
got
doing
this.
great.
Okay, that stuff's gonna kick in, and I'm
Yep. It is gonna kick in 100%.
Only like, yeah. 15 minutes.
Okay.
Check and see if there's
Sorry,
anything
you
else you want
guys.
to take with you.
I'd say from the 50K point to the 100K point, I wasn't really able to get in any calories. Generally drinking in like 8 hours. Yeah, I can't keep, I'm throwing up water. Yeah, I can't keep anything down, dude.
Even the stuff you tried, you're just like...
Nothing. I don't know what to do. This is the worst nausea I've ever had. So, hi.
Do you want Billy to pace you
You're
right now?
here.
Do you want me to jump in? He can jump in right now with
Yeah,
you.
you could if you want.
This is need about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first 20 miles were so good. I felt so good. There's still a lot of race left, though. I'm just like, I can't believe how long it took me to get back here. There's a man.
There's a med,
Yes. 27.
I ended up staying in that aid station for over 2 hours. And what that did to me mentally, man, it really messed with me because I'm lying in this cot, remembering how hard I trained for this race. And instead of being out there on the course, I'm watching runners come into the aid station and leave. My stomach and nervous system weren't cooperating with my fitness, and that was really frustrating. I left the aid station with Billy, and I don't think that we were even 50 yards out when I dropped to the ground, and
Dude, what the hell is going on?
Billy's pacing section with me was me trying to come back from the dead physically and mentally. We were 3 miles into our section together, so we were like at mile 63, 64. And I sat down on a rock and I looked up at him and I said, "How am I going to do this?" And he just looks back at me and he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "This is what you do. You know how to suffer, you know how to be in discomfort, and you know how to overcome." He just continued to encourage me for the next 18, 20 miles. But it was difficult because, you know, the sun hadn't even come up yet and my body was on fire.
I know it's dirty, but I don't even care.
You'll get your idea for a couple of weeks, but it'll be worth it.
I had this little bit of hope inside that if I wanted to race, then it would have to be at night, later in the race. But the main focus for me at that point when I left the aid station was I need to take care of my body. And taking care of our bodies while we're trying to race takes a lot of patience. And I realized that if I'm gonna do well on this course, I have to be patient.
I need to let go of my expectations for this race.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to do because I had some solid goals for this race. And now it's another struggle race.
There's still so much time, Sally.
Yeah, I don't even care that that's like the best layer.
It'll keep this.
You have a lot to cover. Let's talk about your cat.
Yeah? Here we go. Go crush it. All right, keep your spirits high.
All your help.
Oh my gosh. I'll see you at the next one, okay?
Okay.
It was fun, Sally. I'll catch you at the next one.
You are the best.
Go get it.
I couldn't have
Kicking
moved.
ass.
I really
Like
wish I
that.
could join you here, but
I know. I want you to like go and get some good food and rest.
she's doing great. Turn things around, and let's hope we can keep the momentum going.
She said that last section was rough, really hot, and she's very tired. So she wanted to just come in and get, you know, something cold. She needed ice, and she sat down for quite a bit. I guess like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just kind of out of it. You know, she just kind of was, and a lot of. I think she's just really tired. But she was debating if she was gonna, you know, take a little nap here, which she decided not to, which I think was a good decision because you know, this next section's 13 miles, which relatively short, and then she'll be able to rest at the next station when it's dark, and I think that's what she's kind of leaning towards. So, you know, she's only a couple miles out of second place, so I know she was discouraged in terms of her time, but I think she's in a good spot with 100 miles left.
So when I have obstacles in a race, when I have situations that frustrate me, it is never a question of, I don't know if I can finish this race, am I gonna be able to get to the finish line? I immediately think, what can I do to solve this situation? What can I do to make this situation better? What can I do to keep on moving? Because this isn't a question about quitting. This is a true reflection on who I am. You know, it'd be really easy for me to complain and say, well, I trained so hard, or claim that no one trained harder than I did, and so I earned and I expect for everything to go my way. But real life isn't like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
I'll just keep this leg right there.
Okay.
Pretty tired?
Yeah. But the other part of me just doesn't want to sleep.
But you're also way behind on calories.
I'm so behind. I don't
I
know.
haven't been able to eat anything, so.
There was a couple times I tried to rest, but I was so hot, like my system was so hot, and my mind was just, I couldn't turn my mind off. And then it was really uncomfortable for me to lay down. So I'd lay down for a few minutes, and then I would just sit up and tell myself, I'm wasting my time. I'm not able to rest. I just need to keep moving. And so that was what I did throughout the race. It was just a battle with sleep deprivation and a system that wanted to rest but was unable to calm down. And that began to compound. Those feelings of being very tired. I knew it would only be before time that I would be dealing with some serious repercussions of that.
Okay, thank you. 116 leaving. All right, have a good ride.
she'll be good in a second. Just need to expel some crap in her lungs left over from a couple days ago. It's 121 miles so far into this journey.
Wow.
She's moving great. Some occasional bouts of nausea and a lingering cough that won't go away. Some lung issues, but otherwise moving like a champ. If anything, Sally's strongest muscle is between her ears.
We came into Tahoe City and I told him, I was like, well, my feet have been hurting for a while. I'm sure I have a handful of blisters, but I don't care.
Just better treat it now before it gets any worse. Do you want me to see if there's like a
More wipes?
foot care guy?
No.
No?
I don't want anyone else with me.
Okay.
And so we kind of had this back and forth and I get to a chair and I'm sitting there and he's like, why don't you want to take care of your feet? I was like, well, because it'll be another 30, 40 minutes that I have to sit here and I don't want to sit here for 30 or 40 minutes. And so I'm seeing women in the aid station. I'm like, oh, this is like a great time to kind of like catch up to the front pack. But Billy was so insistent on taking care of my feet. And he's like, I'll go tell that medic that she needs to be fast. And then, of course, I just really appreciate it because they did need to be taken care of. And ultimately, it did help to not make them as bad at the end of the race.
There's one done. 2 done.
Have you tried to drain it at all?
No, I just ignore it.
It's real solid.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, do what you think would be best. I just want to. Whatever you do, I'm not touching them again.
Yeah, because you don't have any, like, it's raw.
Yeah, it's raw.
Yeah. The other thing that I really love about Billy is a very thoughtful person. And before the race, he asked several people to send me a good luck video. And when I was at low points, Billy would whip out his phone and he would play these videos for me.
For you. I'm cheering for you, and you inspire me. I know Tahoe 200 is here in the midst of it right now, grinding it out.
You guys getting ready to roll?
No one wants to be uncomfortable and stay there. It's only our human nature that we want to be out of the situation we're in when we don't feel good, when it's painful. No one wants to stay there. Learning how to work through those situations, learning how to keep hope at the forefront and to believe that we are capable of overcoming, that's powerful. And that's where we start to really become all that we were meant to be.
This is the best feeling because now it's just running back toward the finish line. I am hallucinating a little bit though, so it is kind of funny.
Job.
We'll fill up that with, yeah, just dump it. And,
It was a big climb out of Tahoe City. I mean, a really big climb, and working my way back up to Brockway. That section was mostly exposed. And it was fun because you get to see a lot of other runners at this point, which is always uplifting. But as I made my way up the mountain, the heat was powerful. I didn't feel good, but at this point I was embracing that in a new way. What would happen if we just moved as best we can, even though we're not feeling well? Because you never know what's gonna happen down the road. And so now it becomes a question of, well, can you endure better than everyone else? It's really easy to focus on one negative thing and then let it get out of control. And, you know, having raced for so many years, I've also had to work really hard on identifying that and not letting it get to a domino effect. And so as I ran toward Brockway, that was the conversation I had with myself, was even though it all feels like everything's falling apart, and yeah, it might feel like this is a really bad race performance, there is still race left. We race all the way through the finish line. We don't only race when we feel good. We don't only give our best when things are going our way. I don't know what's in store ahead for me, and the only way that I'm gonna find that out is by giving my best and to continue moving forward.
I haven't eaten anything since I left the aid station.
Oh, really?
I started vomiting. I vomited like a lot. It just got so hot.
Yeah.
And then I ran out of water. So I'm pretty behind. I'll take the other stuff though too. I did like 6-7 minutes on the rock when I was hallucinating.
Oh, up
But I want this to be the last one before I finish.
Dude, last 20 minutes right now?
Yeah, like the heat kind of jacked me up, so
Okay.
I'm pretty tired.
All right.
Why don't we just do 20 minutes and then I'll go.
I went to the tent and I thought, okay, maybe I can lay down for a couple minutes. It didn't work. I got back up and then I asked Eddie, I think it was while I was in the tent, I said, how far ahead is the next runner? And he's like, actually, the third place females are probably only 30-40 minutes ahead of you. And I started to do the math in my head. I looked at the mileage marker that I was at and I thought, like, there's still a lot of race left that I could maybe get myself onto the podium. And that excited me, on top of feeling rejuvenated, having these calories, and the sun was starting to set. And I really feel like in a hot race, if you're out there for, for a full 24 hours and beyond, the best racing is gonna be when the sun is down.
Thank you.
Now I am experiencing the shift. It was kind of like coming back to who I was and saying, Sally, there's still time. There's still a lot of miles to go. Get back to focusing on why you're here and what that goal was. I just decided to go for it no matter what the cost was. It wasn't like my physical state changed. It wasn't like suddenly my feet felt better and I wasn't sick anymore and my system wasn't fried. And it was just mindset. I believed in that moment that I could be better than I was in the previous miles, that I could be better than I was at Cocodona, and I could be better than I was even 5 minutes ago. And I thought, let's go for it.
really good feet too. Oh, I'm so hot.
You're hot.
Yeah, I'm just like so pissed.
Don't be pissed. You're making me proud.
I'm like, you can use anger for passion, right?
Yeah, sure.
She's only 3 miles ahead.
Yeah, I still
I'm gonna catch her.
She left here at 10:20.
All right, I gotta get going.
A big part of me racing is I really like to get the best out of myself. Once I lock in on a goal, I throw aside anything that is distracting me, weighing me down. I have this hyper focus on what it is that I want to achieve, and nothing else matters.
How far ahead is the next girl?
She was only 3 miles when we came in, so yes, another hour.
I'm gonna go hard, like the whole time. So if you don't want to do that,
No,
I need to know.
I'm fine doing it. I don't want you to.
So are you not gonna do spooner then?
I can use spooner.
So you want to do a hard 35 miles?
Yeah. I just don't want you to burn all your matches now.
Don't worry about me. I know what I'm doing.
When we race, we are demanding that we get the best out of ourselves, and we're hoping that the people around us are also pushing hard too, because if they're pushing hard, then we're pushing hard. That's what I was feeling in that moment, was like the better part of me was coming out because someone ahead of me was working really hard. 15 miles go by, and around that time, I see a headlamp, and I can see it kind of like moving back and forth across. It looks like it's like looking from left to right in our direction, and I tell Billy, I'm like, they know we're close.
We finally spotted the headlamps with like less than a mile to go into the aid station. We'll probably do the pass just before that. Hey guys, good job. Nice work. The pass was finally made as we're coming into Spooner Aid Station.
As soon as we passed, I felt like our pace picked up and we got really excited, and then it was time to come into the next aid station. And at that point, Billy was asking, do you want me to continue on to this next section? Now, I had a very short section to go. I was super excited and I felt good. I felt like I was really fiery, like I was awake. I was also experiencing a lot of discomfort because I had pushed so much. So I was redlining and I was feeling the effects of having pushed hard, I'd say for almost 40 miles at this point. I thought, I think I need just some quiet time to pray and to be quiet, and I'm gonna push on my own. And so I told Billy, like, amazing job pacing me. I'm gonna do this last section on my own. It was not a good idea to leave Billy behind. Yeah, I regret that because I don't remember a lot about that next section. I was asking my body to do something when it had nothing to give me. I knew that there was going to be a breaking point. This has never happened to me in a race, but I blacked out. I would kind of come back into full reality, and I would be staring at a tree, talking to a tree. And I would slap myself out of this state, and I'd say, you're in a race, you need to get to a finish line. I spent 100 miles thinking about how I wasn't achieving what I had set out to do. I know that there have been moments in my life where I have given up too early, and
most of those times are when I feel like this is just too hard. This is too much. I can't handle this anymore. But it's usually at that point where the greatest change is going to happen, where the best lessons are going to be learned. I think all too often we just quit too early. Crossing that finish line was a very emotional moment because not only had I pushed through a barrier that I didn't know I was capable of doing, but I had achieved what I had set out to do. I got on that podium, and yeah, it wasn't the way that I had planned it to be. It's not how I dreamed it to be, but maybe it was everything that I needed. It was showing me once again what we are capable of doing if we just keep going.
Third place, baby.
Yeah, you did it.
I never thought I'd be so proud of third place, but I'm so freaking proud of third place.
Down.
Right?